it will be clear during the meeting. So first of all, thanks everyone for joining the Coimbatore Meetup today. Is respect of Saturday. Thanks for your time. So yeah, uh, one sec. Yeah, no, I think still people are now they are getting added. Maybe we'll wait for a couple of more minutes. I could see people are joining in. Okay, the count has stagnated. Fine. Yeah. So, hi everyone. Thanks for joining here. I welcome you all to the Coimbatore MuleSoft Meetup, 41st Meetup it is. And yeah, so let me share my screen. Bharat, you want to share? Maybe you can take it over from there directly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
My screen is visible.
Please go to the. It's getting shared. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. So yeah, today we'll be discussing more on the data cloud value on the patterns on MuleSoft, what we can connect and execute. So yeah, next slide, Bharat. Yeah, a simple safe harbor statement. Both the speaker and the host are organizing this meetup in individual capacity. No, previous. Yeah, individual capacity only. We are not representing our companies here. This presentation is strictly for learning purpose only. Organizer or presenter do not hold any responsibility that same solution will work for your business requirement. This presentation is not meant for any promotional activities. Okay. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah, some housekeeping rules. Please be muted during the presentation. If any queries, please do put it in the Q&A session and in the chat box. And we will have a separate Q&A session at the end of the meet. What we will where we can go through all the questions in the chat and the Q&A box. And the recording of the meeting is already in under recording, and it will be published to the meetup page within the next 24 hours, where you can refer to the recordings. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah, about the MuleSoft community, as you know, our training site is trailer.salesforce.com, and Anypoint platform is anypoint.mulesoft.com, and we have MuleSoft Meetup page on different each and every location has its own chapter, and this one currently what we are having is in the Coimbatore chapter, Coimbatore MuleSoft Meetup group. We do have our LinkedIn page, which you can follow for future meetups and updates on other MuleSoft products and new releases. There is a QR code of the LinkedIn page. Please do follow us and learn more on the MuleSoft part and the meetups. Yeah. Next slide, Bharat. Yeah, about me, I'm a MuleSoft Meetup leader, and I'm a MuleSoft Meetup speaker, and I'm a MuleSoft mentor too. So I have myself, Jayaprakash. I have around 12 plus years of experience, out of which 10 plus years is into MuleSoft, and I work as a principal consultant and integration architect in Alithya. So I work on Salesforce, MuleSoft, and OIC integration platforms. Yeah, that's a brief about me, and that is my LinkedIn page. Please do connect with me, and we can discuss further or any use cases that is interesting to us on the integration front. Yeah. Next slide, Bharat. Yeah. Then here is how we have our speaker, Bharat. He is a senior consultant in MuleCraft India Private Limited. Feel free to connect with him. He has expertise in MuleSoft and Salesforce. And yeah, over to you, Bharat. Thank you. Thanks for the explaining us all these things which you will be doing. Yeah.
Thank you, JP. Yeah, hi everyone. Uh, I'm Bharat. I have experience of 4+ years in MuleSoft and working as a senior consultant in MuleCraft India Private Limited. And let's start with the agenda for our MuleSoft session. And here we are going to discussing about Salesforce Data Cloud and the integration patterns that are involved within the Data Cloud. And along with that, we are going to discuss about data mining and their relationship. And we are going to see the live demo session, how the data cloud is going to work, and how the MuleSoft has been integrated with the data cloud. These things we are going to discuss here. And finally, we are going to have Q&A session and what are the key takeaways we are going to have from the MuleSoft Meetup session. Okay, let's start with Salesforce Data Cloud. And the Salesforce Data Cloud is a real-time customer data platform, which is built natively on Salesforce. And Salesforce Data Cloud unifies data any sources like ERP systems along with the file store like S3, Google Cloud, etc. to build a single unified customer profile. And the customer data is activated across any channels real time. And Data Cloud supports batch and streaming for the ingestion of data into Data Cloud, and the injection available through ingestion API and Amazon S3 along with some other CRM connectors. And let's look at our architecture diagram for Salesforce Data Cloud. Here we can see the source systems that has been added in the left panel for the reference purpose, and the data ingestion can be happen two ways as I discussed previously. One is in batch, other is in streaming. And coming to batch, we can load large number of files with help of cloud storage like S3, SFTP, or CRM exports, and it is an event-based architecture. And coming to streaming is a real-time event push data where the event has been pushed into the ingestion API, and ingestion API is a schema where we need to define these things. We will discuss later. And coming to transform, here we can map RAS source field to cloud data by adding some formulas for the fields and by adding or by applying filters to the respective fields. And let's go with govern. Govern is nothing but an applying the privacy enforcements along with policy extensions to the data layer of the Salesforce Data Cloud data. And coming to Harmonize is a common data model standardizing fields along with their names and their data types across the all the source data that we are going to insert into the Data Cloud platform. And coming to Unify is an identity resolution where the determining and probabilistic matching stitches CRM ID into one unified individual profiles that available in the common data model as we've seen in previous harmonizing manner. And coming to insights and AI predictions, insights can be calculated based on SQL and usage metrics of the data has been inserted. And coming to AI predictions, here we can use initial AI models, which has been trained according to the unified profile data, where the data has been scores live for each and every records that we are going to insert into the data cloud. And coming to segment we use it to drag and drop the build creates audience from any unified profile attribute. And finally, we are going with analyze. Can analyze the data. We can analyze the data using query API, where the data explorer will be comes into the main part of querying the data from unified profile data that has been stored in data cloud. And let's go with activation. Activation part is in pushing the same data to marketing cloud, like any external systems. The data has been transferred, and the data going to be exported into external systems. And flows. Coming to flows, the Salesforce will trigger flows automatically from data cloud events by adding some automations or some conditions that have been applied into the flows within Salesforce data cloud. And export and actions is depending. And let's go with the enriched data will be exported to the source systems or some other target systems along with the third party tools will be the data will be exported, which I have mentioned in the right panel. These are the things where the data can be exported. And these minimal, we can add some more additional external systems here. Let's go with next slide. And here we are going to discuss about the integration patterns that are available for the data cloud. Here we can see that data ingestion patterns, which has only inbound, but the data can be only inserted into the data cloud. It can't be exported. And here we can see other is in zero copy patterns, where the inbound and outbound insertion and the output exports will be available for the zero copy patterns. And data ingestion patterns will be done in two ways. One is in batch, other is in streaming. And coming to batch, as we discussed, there is an loading large file data from cloud storage to the data cloud. And coming to streaming, here we are working with MuleSoft data ingestion, and the data will be ingested through via ingestion API, and it is in real time and along with the event driven architecture. And coming to zero copy, here we can see inbound zero copy and outbound zero copy, where the actual data will be present in the external system for inbound, and the data copy will be available on data cloud. And it can be in two ways: one is in frequency manner, other is in acceleration manner. And for outbound copy, there is in same, the actual data will be available in data cloud, and the copy data will be available on external system. Like only file shares are available for the outbound copy, like Google Data Cloud, Microsoft Azure Blob, along with SFTP. Only three connectors are available for outbound zero copy. And let's discuss about the data setup for batch ingestion bulk. And for this, in a scenario, we are going to perform batch with the help of Amazon S3, and the data will be inserted in the data cloud. For this, we need to create and bucket within the Amazon with the help of region and their name. Once the bucket has been created, then we can upload the file according to the connect directories file that I have mentioned in the data cloud. And coming to Salesforce, in quick find, by entering into setup, there is option called quick find, and in quick find we can see the option called data cloud. Under data cloud, option will be other connectors. In other connectors, we need to create new connections. For that, by using Amazon S3, we need to add access key and secret key that will be available on Amazon S3. By using those two, we can add the setup and connection for that. And here mandatorily we need to mention parent directory along with the directory file available location. Once the connection has been added, then we need to go into data cloud. Under data cloud, the new stream will be available. Data streams will be available, which is used to stream the data into data cloud from the S3. And we need to create new stream by using the connection called Amazon S3. And we need to select the connection that we have been created in setup or data cloud, and it can be in frequency manner or it can be acceleration manner. We can go with based on our scenario requirement. And here we need to choose primary keys and any other unique identifiers for our data, data abstraction. And these things will be available under the category. And here finally, once this setup has been completed, we need to deploy the data stream into data cloud. And same for streaming engine pattern. But additionally, and here we need to API. Same, it will be available under the setup. The option will be available for this in data cloud. And here we can see ingestion API. For ingestion API, additionally, we need to update the schema where the file will be in OS format, and the file should the extension of .ml with the OS format. And once the file has been updated, we need to choose a primary key for same scenario. And once it has been updated, here we can see the um, status has been active once the connection has been set up. And then we need to go for data cloud. Again, we need to create data stream for that, and by using ingestion API. Previously we have used Amazon S3 for batch bulk, and here we need to use ingestion API as in source for the uh, streaming. And there we can choose what is the API and what is the object name we need to insert, and how the data cloud need to be performed. And same way here we can choose a category as a primary key we need to choose. Once these categories has been chosen, then we need to deploy the data stream into data cloud. Along with that, data lake object will be automatically generated once the stream has been deployed. Yeah. Next, we are going to have a look into zero copy integration pattern. And zero copy integration pattern is in Salesforce Data Cloud to access or share data with external systems, where the actual copy will be available on the inbound. In case of inbound, it will be in external, and in case of outbound, the data will be available on data cloud. And the zero copies will be available on the data cloud for inbound, and external as an outbound for copy data. And in our scenario, we are going to perform with Amazon S3 Redbricks for external system, and the data will be available as a zero copy in data cloud. And here the rates will be taken only for the querying. The actual storage won't be happen or payable for data storage in data cloud for inbound zero copy. Same will be available for outbound. And yeah, before looking into data modeling, let's see data hierarchy, how the data hierarchy will be added, and how the ingestion data like object and data modeling object, this can be discussed. Once the data stream is deployed in data cloud, the data lake object will be automatically generated, and the actual raw data will be available in data lake cloud, and it is stored in native format. And coming to data model object, and it is an combination of standardized schema which will be available. Standard objects or custom objects can be created, and the data will be applicable as an customer scheme model. And the data can be queried using data explorer. Same data spaces are the logical partitions used to organize models by brand or region, where the region can be chosen for data spaces where the higher objects can be mentioned. And coming to CRM object relationship, using data model object and the CRM object, there is a unique field for the combination. For example, if I am going to choose email within the data model object, in CRM I am going to choose an object which is equal to the data model object, and there I can choose email, and the both field will be matched. And once the data has been matched with same data type, then the by editing in lightning page or data cloud, values will be listed or related views will be listed into the our actual CRM object, Salesforce UI object. And coming to data model object, here data model object can be created, and it supports one to one and one to many configurations. And using in data modeling object, we have both standard as well as custom objects. And into standard objects, there will be some predefined or pre-built schemas that has been available for standard objects, and the data types will be available and the names will be available. If the matching records or rows will be matched to the data model object and the data lake objects, the mapping can be done according to our scenarios. And custom objects, here we can create our own custom objects and own fields can be defined, and the data types also will be defined according to our scenarios, so that the data will be actual data will be mapped into the data map object using the custom objects. And here I have mentioned the step by step that how to create data mapping object. We need to enter to data mapping, and the new object option will be available there. If we need to create any custom object, then we can choose as a custom module, and we can choose the fields that are available, and or we need to add the fields, what are the fields we need. So, and finally we can save the if we save the option, the data modeling object will be created. Same way for data standard object also, instead of choosing new custom object, there will be some standard object. Same way we can choose standard objects, and we can use save option for that saving data model. And coming to verified data, using data explorer, we can query the data that has been inserted into data mapping as well as in data lake objects will be entire data full set data will be available there. And if we need to add any data, any new fields, or if I need to update any data in ingestion API, then I need to update the scheme which we discussed previously. There will be OS file format with the extension of YAML file. We need to update the respective file, and then we need to update within the ingestion API. Then by opening data stream, the source fields will be added there, and if we by adding save, if we refresh the respective data stream, then the data will be our fields will be reflected there. And for relationship creation, we need to open data modeling object, and we can create relationship. As we discussed, the relationship will be support both one-to-one and one-to-many configurations, and we need to choose that based on our scenarios. And once the relationship has been created, we can choose the customer relation object, where the Salesforce UI objects will be available there. By choosing same data type between CRM object and data model object, data will be mapped as per the data type chosen, and finally we can save that, and the same data will be available in the Salesforce UI by editing the lightning page of the respective CRM object, and we need to add the related list component to the respective CRM object, and finally the data will be activated in Salesforce UI. And coming to approach comparison, here we have approach comparison between ingestion API and batches. Batch S3 actually refers to the bulk or batch ingestion model, and coming to ingestion API, it is referring to the streaming model object. And for by coming to trigger, it is a real time or event driven. We need to upload the schema file for the ingestion API. Based on this schema file, the data will be validated, and it will be inserted into the ingestion API. And coming to batch schedule, which is an S3, and it will be behave as in scheduled manner, where the frequency will be added into data streams, and the data will be inserted in frequency way for the data cloud. And here mandatorily we need to add S3 bucket connection by adding AWS secret key along with the AWS access key. And we can see the data size can be minimal level for ingestion API. And coming to batch, that large data or large file loads payload will be added into the data cloud. And the mandatory option of AWS is mandatory for bulk ingestion. In our scenario, we are going to, as we discussed, we are going to use S3 for bulk ingestion. For ingestion API, there is no AWS in there. If we need, we can use that in integration level. And coming to adding new files, we need to update the schema, which is the OS format, and we need to redeploy the stream into data stream again, and then new fields will be populated there. And coming to batch S3, we need to update the fields in respective file, and fields will be automatically available in data stream. Then we can update that. And coming to real-time use, it is ingestion API can be used in live events as well as in real-time sync. And batch S3, where bulk data, or I need to sync the data in event way, like I need to schedule today and I needing the data into data cloud. In that scenario, we can go with batch, and in real-time scenarios, we can go with ingestion API. And coming to complexity, here we need to define schema for ingestion API, and just AWS configuration needed for the batch S3. Yeah, that's it. Do you have any questions for theoretical level? Let's go with demo.
Yeah, there are a couple of questions from Edward. Bharat, that's predominantly on the data structure side, like how we are going to do the conversion between different data formats and all. I think after the demo during the QA session, we can have a brief discussion on that. We can proceed with the demo, I think.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, first let's take a look into Amazon S3 bulk ingestion pattern. Yeah, under data cloud, option called other connectors. By clicking on other connectors, sometime here we can see that I'm using Amazon S3 data ingestion. Amazon S3, we can use access key and secret key for AWS that will be available on Amazon bucket. And here we can see the connection. It's the mandatory mention of bucket name, and here the parent directory also mentioned. It can be uh, fetch for the data insertion. And I'm going to test this. Yeah, here we can see the connection has been successfully available for bulk data ingestion. Once the connection has been created. We need to enter into data streams. By entering into data stream, here we need to add new data stream option. Here we can see Amazon S3. By clicking that, we see connection has been established, and parent connection and bucket name will be available here. And what are the file type we are going to use, we need to mention here, and import directory location along with the file name. By clicking next, we can see, yeah, I'm going to close this. I have already the data stream for the respective connection. I can see the uh, field categories will be available here, and I have mentioned custom ID as a primary key for the going to load into and updated as an record modified field when the record modified can be tracked with the help of updated date. And finally, in frequency, see that in what the range sync data need to be refreshed between data cloud and the bulk job insertion. Here I have updated as in 15 minutes. Mm, Here we can see the history of data abstraction for data cloud and the bulk data ingestion of S3. If it is in success, we get status in success. As an in progress or failure, the status will be updated according to here, and how many records has been populated, and how many records has been added, and how many records has been problem created. Like any failure scenarios, will be available here. Record count will be available here, and the once the data stream has been created or deployed, this automatically the data lake object will be created, where the actual raw data will be available in data lake object. Here we can see the data lake object has been created, and refresh history will also be available, like how many total records and how many has been added and how many has been removed. Those things will be available here to see that how many records are to explore that data that are available in data lake object. We can use the data explorer option. Here we have data explorer option. Here we can choose the data space I am using as a default, and under data lake we can see the objects that has been created. To track the records, I can use customer profile for bulk. Yeah, here we can see that data has been synced between S3 and data cloud. To track the problem records, there will be an option called peer peer object will be created, automatically created. So here we can list down the how many data cost failed, and what is the error reason, and what is the error code and fields that has been affected due to error, and timestamp. These things will be displayed here. Yeah, let's yeah, here I'm going to upload file for that. Yeah, it will say it will take some time. As I had a frequency for 15 minutes, it will take some time to reflect the data into the data cloud. And let's go with next scenario called ingestion model. For data ingestion, I'm going to use MuleSoft as an integration pattern to deploy or to add the data into data stream. And here we can see that I have added the connection with the help of ingestion API. Here, actually, we need to choose. Okay, yeah, if by choosing new, and we need to mention the connection name as in MuleSoft ingestion as in streaming. Yeah, by adding this, actually I have added this schema already, so it won't able to add again. So I will show in existing data stream that have been added. Here we can see the schema that have been added here. If we need to update the existing schema, we can use update schema option. And by downloading the schemas, I can show the how the schema that has been um, have pushed ingestion API. This is the schema that have been written, and I have added the same into the data cloud. And the has been added. Here we need to choose the fields. Here we can see how the what are the rows are available, like column names and the data types. See this here. Once the schemas has been updated, here we can see the connector status has been updated to in use. Once the status has been changed, then we need to data streams. Then again, we need to click on new. By clicking new, there will be an option called increase. The data stream can be created. Same the we need to choose the key if we need it or the respective beneficiation. And same way, if we need to add any frequency, we can add here. Other it will be an accelerated to the none, and that immediate reaction will be into the data cloud. And here we can see the reference system as discussed previously. It will be in upset way model, and based on primary key, the data will be upsetted into the data cloud. Here we can see how many records got problems, and same how many records has been added and removed. Those things will be available here. Once the data stream has been created, in same way, the MuleSoft also see here the ingestion API data lake has been created. To explore that same way, we can choose the object related to ingestion API, and can see the record counts has been has been added or how many records will be available. Same to track error records. PR option, same the record error records will be displayed here, and how many rows affected, and the step along with the error fields will be displayed into the yeah. This is the one, and let's go for MuleSoft implementation here. Yeah, here comes the MuleSoft implementation for inserting data in data stream. Here in MuleSoft, we have two options: is in streaming mode, other is in bulk mode. For streaming mode, we don't need to create a job ID, but coming to bulk job, we need to create job ID for that. Let's look into the live demo, and I'm going with streaming. Here, I'm going to fetch the file data from the S3 as in source, and I'm going to transform according to the data cloud. Once that data has been transformed, then I'm going to insert the data cloud in streaming mode, and the respective data has been once the data has been inserted, we can see the log has been accepted, and that will be logged into the data lake object, and it will take some time the respective data into data object because it is not directly connected with data lake object. Initially, it will go into data stream and will check whether the abstraction needed or insertion needed or those things will be checked, and the data lake object the data will be inserted into data lake object. So it will take some process time for that. And coming to bulk option that is available on MuleSoft, yes, I'm going to get data from Amazon S3. Here we have option called bulk job creation. Using the bulk job creation, the bulk ID will be created for that, and once the bulk ID has been created, we can yeah we need to choose object name and the source API name, and we need to choose the option to be available for bulk. One is in delete, other is in up. In the same way, going to upsert, and once the transformer data has been available, I'm going to add this to the payload. and I'm going to send this to Data Cloud. And here the job ID will be mentioned to track the for status purpose. Once the data has been added into Data Cloud, immediately then we need to update the bulk job status. Here in our scenario, I'm going to update the state into upload complete. And if we need to close the job ID, then we can choose option called about. If the current bulk job ID is in running state, we are trying to add one more job ID. In that scenario, we'll get conflict error, and this we will space in normal way, and it refers the 409 status code. So once the job has been completed, then only we can create, and then only we can add data into Data Cloud with the help of bulk. And to track, as I said previously, it will take some time to add the data or update the status to success. It will take some time. So I'm going to publish the respective job ID into the VMQ, and in VMQ I'm going to check the status of job by providing input as in job ID. Here we'll get multiple status, and using job status and job complete, I'm going to about the job, I am going to end the job status, job that has been completed. And we can query the problem records from the problem object. As I said, we can query the problem records from the problem object, and we can see how many records got failed. Those things will be shown there, and we can query that, and we can send the records to the mail in real-time scenario. And coming to failed, if the data has been failed for due to some reasons, some to request, those things can tracked, and those data can be mailed based on our scenarios. And coming to final option called otherwise, here we can get job status is complete or sometime in failed, it causes failed. There will be some other in progress or apply has been completed, status will be available. In that scenario, I need only status called failed or one is in success. In that scenario, I can retrieve for some time. Once the data has been got succeeded, it will be job will be aborted, or it got failed, it will be aborted. Still the status has been updated to success or failure, the data job will be uh, available as in progress. So I'm going to retrieve that for each and every 30 seconds by using VMQ. I'm publishing again and again for the queue for 30 seconds until I'm getting job status as in complete or failed. This is deployment I did, and we can see the API has been deployed into Cloud Hub. These API have created S3 SFTC PAP, and the API has been deployed into the Cloud Hub. Yeah, here we can see the accepted as in true once the data has been um, inserted into the uh, data cloud. Okay, let's go with like for MuleSoft also. Yeah, here I'm going to add file by updating. Let me update this because the links are already available in data cloud. Yeah, let it be same, and I'm going to add file. Yeah, you can see upload has been completed. I'm going to in streaming way. I'm going to add data into data cloud. Yeah, here we can see the status has been accepted true, and the data has been entered into data cloud. We are count as that. I will show you docs. Yeah, here we can see that flow has been shorted, and this is the payload I'm going to from streaming, and I'm getting status in true. Yeah, it will take some time to reflect data like object. Before looking into, let's take step in zero copy, and let's come back to this. Hmm. For zero copy, I'm going to use Reddick, which is a product of here I have created a table already, which is the name called customer profile, and we can see the fields that has been available for the respective customer profile table, and I'm going to insert one data into data cloud. To see this, I'm going to update the frequency. Currently, I disable the acceleration. So once the data has been added in Redshift, immediate manner the data will be reflected in the cloud. Yeah, here we can see that data has been added. The primary key as in customer ID will be 9, and the data has been set in Redshift. Data like object under customer profile. You can see yeah, here we can see that zero copy is available. Um, Before that, let's look into the connection setup configuration for zero copy. Under under other connectors, here we have option to choose multiple connectors for zero copies. These are the connectors or source systems that are available for that. Here we can, in our scenario, I'm going with Redshift, which is a product of Amazon, to show the live demo for zero copy. This is the product I'm going to use. For outbound zero copy, we have only the three file storage systems where the Google Cloud Storage and Microsoft Azure Blob Storage and SFTP will be available for outbound zero copy, where the source will be in data cloud and external systems will be file storage for outbound zero copy. For inbound, we can have this much source systems. And here I have set up with Redshift Data Cloud. And here you can see the connection has been successfully done. Same, the data has been added from Redshift to Data Cloud. Now I'm going to check data status for um, MuleSoft data ingestion that we have been inserted data in ingestion manner. Explorer, choosing. Yeah, here we can see that add mentioning the first name as in Rajesh and customer is in primary key. The data has been added in through the ingestion API. And let's see what is data modeling, how it can be added to CRM. Here I have already added the data modeling for this ingestion API. Okay, I will show with some of the new. Yeah, here by giving the option called start, here we can see the sales the objects that are in standard ways, or we need to, if we need to create any customer object, then we can choose the option called custom in data mapping, and it will take some time to refresh. Okay, I will show this later. And here we can see that I have added mapping. Yeah, here we can see that I have added mapping, and I have used some pre-built values. Like for customer ID, I am going to use individual ID, which isn't pre-built, and both the data types are same. So I'm not going to update any uh, custom value for this. So I'm using the predefined schema data field that has been available in data modeling object. And for city, there is no field is available. So here we can see that I have created custom field within the data model object, and I have used for this. And same for email along with phone number. We can create custom objects, custom fields if we need it, or if we available any default fields, then we can choose according to that in data mapping object into data lake object fields. And to explore the data of data modeling object, here we have option. And I here, as I said previously, I created a data model with the help of individual object. So I'm going to, in data explorer, I'm going to query the individual object. Here we can see the data has been added, or a data has been mapped from data lake object to data modeling object. Here we can see it. And in Salesforce CRM, yeah, here we have option called a standard data model and custom model object. If we need to create any custom object, here we can choose custom object, and we can choose the fields that are required, and we can create according to the. Or there are some pre-built data model um, objects that are available in Salesforce. If any objects that are matching to our requirements, we can choose that, or we can go with customer. In my requirement, it is matching to the individual objects, whether both the fields are same. So I'm going with individual object. I have created that accordingly. And in Salesforce CRM, I have connected this with account object. Yeah, by clicking the field, and here we have option called edit page. In edit page, we will find option called related list. In related list, we can by choosing related list, we can add the data modeling object within that. And we need to activate the once the data modeling object has been added account object, CRM object. And once this has been succeeded, here we can see that my individual data has been mapped with the account object, which is available on the um, CRM. Here we can see that have created custom field called customer ID, and I have attached customer code for the respective account. And here I have chosen N2 one connector configuration data modeling object. Yeah, this seems a demonstration. And let's have some key takeaways. Here we have seen that data can be inserted in both way. One is an bulk as is an ingestion API. Ingestion API have integrated with MuleSoft, and it supports both bulk as well as an streaming mode. And coming to bulk, here we need to create bulk Java ID, and data will be available on Data Cloud. And coming to real time, uh, in real time scenario, we can go with ingestion API, or if I'm going to proceed with batch, we can go with Amazon S3. And DLO object will be auto generated from data stream. Once the data stream has been deployed into Data Cloud, the DLO object will be automatically generated, and it doesn't need any manual setup for that. And here we can see data model flexibility. The data will be mapped from data lake object to the data modeling object by creating some custom objects or some manual objects. So some standard objects available on the data cloud data modeling object. And coming to end-to-end visibility, the data has been mapped from data modeling object to the Salesforce CRM object, and the data cloud object, data cloud values can be resulted to look into the CRM object in Salesforce UI that I have integrated with account. These are the key takeaways we are going to take from this session. And let's come into QA session.
Yeah, so thanks a lot, Bharat, actually, for the elaborative, demo. That was very, really nice of you to show us with multiple data sources and all, with the different types. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think we do have a couple of queries there. Yeah, guys, I have just enabled mic for everybody. Please do, post your queries. Maybe you can stop sharing your screen, Bharat. We can take a snap of everyone. And also, it will be really great if you guys can turn on your camera. So, 1 sec. I'm just taking the snaps. I didn't switch on. Yeah. So, I think Edard has some query. Lenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hi Dodo. Like maybe you can enable the mic for Dodo. Uh,
Yeah, I think I have enabled his mic.
okay. What code is to use additional step? Why can't we send the data to using MuleSoft to Salesforce directly? Okay.
No, yeah. So in this, Edward, like you should consider data cloud as a separate entity. You're mentioning sales sending SFDC to different objects in the Salesforce. Okay, that we can send directly. But here, what Bharata showed the demo is sending the data to data cloud. That doesn't mean it should be only the data that is subjected to be visible in the SFDC objects, right? So when you have a data about the business that you need to store it on the data cloud, which will be useful for profiling the data and act on the data in any of the Salesforce objects, right? Those are all the things which we will be sending it to data cloud. This is not like something we can directly send it to data cloud. So what Salesforce is providing here is, I feel like an instance which you can use it as a analysis instance, like other systems what we have, right, like data lake or databricks. So those kinds. So that is where it is. Like sending it to SFDC means you will be sending it to any of the objects that you have, correct? But here it's not, you're not sending it to an object, you are sending it to a different, columnarized data to the data cloud, which can be utilized by Salesforce objects also, which can be utilized by other systems also. So that is where it differs actually. And there is a query from Sagnik. How did you decide which data model objects record will be associated with account objects record. Vicky,
Yeah,
you
I
want
will
to
take
take
that.
this?
Yeah, I will take that. So, Sagnik, so how we will decide is, so we know what are the data we are pulling from our source, and we are pushing into DLO using the data streams we created. Let's say our data has the account related field only, account object related field only. So then we will map only those DMO object record related fields in the DLO to DMO mapping. That's how we decide which data model object to use. It might be only in account, it might be a combination of account and contact. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Sort of,
So,
yeah.
any other queries? Okay. I probably need to read a paper on profiling for targeted commerce to understand the use case. Yeah. So, Vicky, you want to elaborate on that particular commerce side, like user-based profiling, which we were discussing earlier. Edward has query on that. So Edward, actually, what they are, yeah, okay, go ahead, Vicky, since you have done that discussion.
Yeah, for one of the client, what we are implementing is basically we will collect all the data. Okay, so it can be in SFTP, CSV file. It can be in other ways, other sources in S3 bucket, right? So we put it in raw layer in DLO, and then we are mapping into DMO, and they are building unified profile, so they can send out the notification through the marketing cloud. They are mostly trying to reach out to leads, and overall the leads are getting missed because the sources are coming in multiple locations. And I know that I agree that we can actually collect everything, transform it in MuleSoft, and then put it together. Only thing we are building is, again, we are building a separate integration just to handle that. But Data Cloud is offering a simple way for us. You just give me the source file by, I will map everything for you and put it. You want in any Data Cloud, any Salesforce, you you can also connect to agent force to that directly. A is having instant data available for your customer, and it's giving a full whole oversight we want. Okay, when that particular customer had purchased the last and what is the credit card he used, what is the method he used, what was the location, last location. See, these information will come from different sources, right? And it might not come from a single source. That is where this Data Cloud will be very helpful, because it can collect all the data from different sources and put it together and map it in the same DMO. And you will be able to see that in a uh, single page, because sales rep doesn't like to go into multiple pages to understand when he purchased, where he purchased, and when the last marketing email was sent. If it is in a single page, it's very helpful, and that is what will drive the business more. So that is what they are trying to solve in the commerce cloud. That is what they are, the e-commerce version, that's what they are trying to solve. It's just a small thing what I explained. There are so many use cases. It depends upon what we are trying to add value to the customer.
Yeah. So to add to it, Edward, like it's a one way to stream the data and feed the data for your agents actually. Let's say currently the use cases where Salesforce agents are being used is being increasing continuously, right? So in an exponential way. So in order to not only have the data which is already available and Salesforce have trained the agents with, if you have your custom agents, you can train them basically to train a sales agent or basically to train a employee support agent. These data will be really helpful, which we will be putting into the Data Cloud, and just we need to enable the access for our agents which you are creating for your organization to this Data Clouds actually. So that will give us give the agents a better training and better view about what you are asking in perspective of the client or in perspective of your organization, right? So yeah, that is where it helps.
And that is a good use case also. The next meetup we will do maybe a extension of this, see how it actually connects
Yeah,
to agents. We have our partners in Salesforce. We will collaborate and put
yeah,
it
that we
together.
can do.
Yeah.
There is one more query from Sagnik. Can we have a look into the email that we send after the MuleSoft ingestion piece completed successfully?
Actually, we are not sending email for success scenario. We are sending only email for error scenario, and I can show the sample email I have created for error.
Okay.
Natively, there is no email, Sagnik. So if you want
Yeah,
something, we need to configure it.
We can create an alert, yeah.
I have externally configured this in MuleSoft, and if we need, we can track with job ID for by scenario. And these error I have this is these are error we can found in email. For success, we are just logging into the cloud up, so logs will be available on cloud.
Yeah, I think it clarifies. I think Sagnik, you can talk actually, even though if you don't want to switch on the video. I think your mic is enabled, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And Bharat, like, if you don't mind, like, can you share the our first meetup page in the PVT first page? I'll take a snap of that too. So yeah, guys, please ask your queries. We can clarify it here. Yeah, maybe 1 second. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take a snap. However, we'll be having the recording. Just want to have it. Yeah, sure. Now you can go to the Q&A slide, Bharat. Maybe after that we'll just work on what next. No other queries in the chat. So, Edot, by does it clarify you to some extent? I think he dropped. Yeah, I think he has dropped. Okay, next slide.
I had
Bharat.
one more query, Jayaprakash. So this is from
Ah,
a principle of least privilege understanding. So for the S3 connectivity, we were seeing that we have to provide the access key and access secret. So is that the only connectivity method available currently?
Uh,
no, we do have. Yeah, go ahead, Bharat.
yeah, we have identity connection for that Amazon S3. We can use alternative way for that.
Okay. Okay, there is a role way connection that we can use IAM roast. Because AWS will
Yeah,
prompt you that access key secret key is not the preferred way to use, because it will expose your entire stack. So you are doing for S3, but your other things like maybe your SNS, SQS, everything is then available through that secret key access key only. So if there is an IAM role, then that's fine.
yeah, definitely that is there, and also not only Amazon S3, we do have other sources also. If you have other options, if you don't want to go with S3 also, right? And yeah, Bharat, next slide after. Can you share that
Yeah.
after Q&A? Yeah, Tim, just a minor thing. Your feedback, matters to us. And what's next is like you can follow our MuleSoft Meetup page, Coimbatore Meetup page. Uh, but your slide is not complete actually. Can you go with full screen?
Okay. I think it is in full screen.
Okay. Okay. Fine. No problem.
It's
I
showing,
think for me
showing.
it's not visible.
Go back to the old
Okay.
one.
Fine.
Sorry for that. I have closed this. I reopened.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, so team, so basically, please do follow us on the Coimbatore MuleSoft Meetup page and our LinkedIn page. Will so that you will be updated with the meetups which we are conducting, and please do let us know if anyone is interested to present any topic in the Coimbatore MuleSoft Meetup, and based on the topic and you know uh, yeah, the presentation, like you'll be having, we can provide you the vouchers which you might be interested on, I guess. And please do fill as the survey, which you will be getting after this meetup. It will be really helpful for us to go through your feedback, and we can improve on how we can share the knowledge best. Yeah, yeah. Next,
Uh,
yeah.
I think
Thanks,
we
team.
will have
Thanks a lot for
in,
joining. Yeah,
we'll have in-person meetup, right?
yeah.
So yeah, we'll publish soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining, and thanks a lot, Bharat, for giving the wonderful session. It was really knowledgeable, and a lot of topics which we haven't covered, which we don't know, that is being covered here in the perspective of Data Cloud and Salesforce. Thank you once again, and thanks a lot for joining. Okay. So looking forward to see you all again in our next meetup. Thank you. Happy weekend. Bye, guys.
True.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.